How you doing, everyone? Here we are back for another update. In today's one, we're going to be going through two more teams, this time the North Queensland Cowboys and the Manly Sea Eagles. As I said in the last video, we're going to be going through each individual player, seeing what their prospects are going to be like, and then talking through a couple of players that might be injured or where some minutes may be lost or the competition between minutes, because sometimes there's a bunch of teams where there's very limited spots, limited minutes, so that could affect players playing sort of 40 to 50 minutes or 50 to 60, which can equate to 5 to 10, even 15 points for some of these players, which is really important. So let's go through our Cowboys to start. So Valentine Holmes is going to be an interesting one. He's predicted to be in the number 1 jersey, but there's been talk over the last week that there's a great chance that he's going to be playing on the wing as he's been training there. And there's a good chance that someone like Scott Drinkwater might play in the 1 position, or even Hamiso. But the talk has been the Hammer's been training in the middle, in the centres, and Holmes on the wing with Drinkwater at the back. So we can look at Holmes, and the majority of his good scores came back when he was dominating for the Sharks in 2018, and that was all at fullback. So when he plays on the wing, as you can see for a bunch of games last year at the Cowboys, it wasn't as strong. You've got a 4.25 in those couple of games there where he played in the wing and then came back and played well in the fullback position. He needs to be playing fullback for him to score well. So I wouldn't be touching that one. The Hammer's a slightly interesting option if he plays in the number 4 jersey, which we'll have a look at here. All right, Hamiso. And please, guys, hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these. Really appreciate that. Let's keep growing this channel as big as we can get it and help as many people as possible. Hammer, 356, price of 27. You can see here the majority of good scores when he played at the back, and there's only a couple of them, a 58 and a 37, but on the wing, he's not going to get as many touches, especially for the Cowboys being a team that isn't as good as a lot of others. So if he's playing in the centres, he should be able to tackle a fair bit more. You can see he made 14 tackles for 3 misses. He's got a 5 miss game, but then improved as he went along with a 7 tackle game for 1 miss. But yeah, so as he's going to get bigger and stronger, he's going to be much improved, and it'll be interesting to see how he goes in the centres. But moving along, Kyle Feldt is always a solid player and scores a lot of tries, and there's not much upside for him. Eastside Masters we spoke about before, and he's someone that has had an incredible average for the Tigers a couple of years ago and had some issues across last year, which shows in his scoring. So had a nice start and a very solid start for someone that makes a couple of tackle breaks and offloads. Running a lot of sideways action and getting outside of tackles and getting the offload away. He's someone that can score well in fantasy and has that type of game. He does miss a bunch of tackles, and that's going to be where he wins or loses this year. If he tackles well and doesn't miss as many, and then his head's really in the game, he's going to score well. So he's going to be an interesting one to see. But if Hammer's training in the 3 or 4 jersey, who's going to miss it? Justin O'Neill or Masters? The good chance it's going to be Masters. So yeah, that's my thoughts on there. If Drinkwater goes to 1, he's a slightly better option, but he burnt me last year and I don't want to touch him. Michael Morgan, who we've spoken about previously, this is his team. He's in charge, and he's going to be doing the majority of the kicking. And if Cowboys are to do well, he's going to score really well. So if you think that they're going to improve this year, he's someone that you'd want to get into your team. I think over someone like Luke Brooks, who their team did all right last year, and he didn't even score that well. So you can tell, back in 2017, Morgan was running the show when Thurston got injured, and he smashed it. So if he's past his injuries, then he's going to be a really good option. Maguire did well in spurts last year, scoring really well, playing big minutes, but he shouldn't have to play as big of a minute role this year, with the hopes of McLean going a lot better. But we'll have a look at Robson again and see what's going to happen with his prospects. So let's have a look at what they think is on the bench. I think Jake Granville's going to be on that bench, but they also have Ruben Cotter. So there's always going to be a good chance when they've got 2 backup hookers that Robson won't get the 80 minutes. And you can see, he got to play 80 through a bunch of games last year, but when the other hooking stocks were available, this he wasn't able to get the 80 apart from 1 game near the back. So if he's getting 50 to 60 minutes, you can see he gets a lot of low scores, which is scary, and I wouldn't be wanting to spend 658k when he's priced at 49 already at this stage. I spoke about McLean. Hess was an option years ago. Mitch Dunn just doesn't score very well and is too highly priced in this position. Tamalola's losing some minutes. Where are those minutes going to come up? That's the question. You'd expect Maguire not to play as big a minutes as well. This probably leaves a little bit more of an option on the bench for some of these guys to play some bigger minute roles. If Tamalolo is only playing 50, you'd expect Maguire to play closer to 55. McLean probably similar. Hess and Dunn might be 80-minute options, but guys like Francis Molo should get a nice big minute option, big minute games as well. And then you have a look at a couple of the others on the bench there. And there's nothing crazy to look at there except for Peter Holler. There's a chance that he comes in and definitely onto that bench, but maybe into the starting side and plays some bigger minutes. So look out for those kind of guys. If he comes onto the bench, I see him getting a decent minute role with guys like Lolo having more of an impact in shorter spurts. You can see these guys like Francis Molo, Lachlan Burr, and Peter Holler, even Shane Wright, maybe spelling a Hess or a Dunn to help out there. So, with them thinking about playing shorter minutes here for these guys, maybe they don't play a backup hooker and they're just rotating their forwards through, something like what we might think would happen with the Warriors. So, really interesting thoughts there, and we'll obviously find out through the trials and come team list, but just something to start thinking about during this time. We'll move on to Manly there. Tommy Trob to start us off. We know what he's like if he can stay on the park. So if he does, then I think he has to be in your team. But given his price, you'd be able to trade him to a lot of other players in that position, or move people around in your squad. So I think he's worth it at this stage. Manly always play their best when he's there, so they're going to be going well if he's there. So that's my thoughts on him. Tafua is a no. Dylan Walker, if he's going to play in the centres, he has a little bit of upside, but with Sully there, he's gonna take a bit of the ball, but it just depends who's going to play in the sixth position, which side Walker's going to be on. There's so many different things. He's such an up and down scorer, so he's a scary one to think about. Let's have a little chat about Jason Saab. So really cheap, and if he gets that wing spot, I think he's going to be worth a shot in your team. If you can see the games he's played last year, a really good one there was our 35 without a try. Obviously had a line break try assist, but you can see in a Dragons team that wasn't that good, he didn't score very well, and it's not someone that makes a lot of meters out of trouble. So he's someone that is young and has a chance to improve, but will it be enough? Look, he's definitely on the radar, and maybe ends up that way. Look, you see he's got a 9% ownership there, so something to think about with him. Schuster we've spoken about. If he gets that spot, he's in your team. Cherry Evans is our second top wing, half. Marty Tapau. Now we're going to talk around the minutes. So we've got Marty and Alloway is going to come in and take the majority of Fanua Blake's minutes. So there's much change. That's going to be the question. If Custer's on the bench and Foran's in the 9 position, then Cuss can play a multitude of spots. For example, he'd come in and help Foran there, but it looks like they'd have a bunch of playmakers through their spine. Trbojevic is going to play close to his 80 minutes as per normal, at least 70. You've got Davey there. Will he play the 80? That's the question. They're going to have Curtis Sirinen is going to play close to 80, a Trbojevic close to 80. Will they have Davey as well? When you got blokes like Paseka, he's going to take obviously a bunch of minutes through the middle. Kasevsky is more of an edge player, so which one of Davey or Sirinen loses those minutes, and then Kepi's more of a middle forward. They've got someone like Lachlan Croker, who's a chance of coming in and playing 6 as well. Manasi Fainu is being stood down still, so not someone you want to be thinking about at this stage, but they could bring you back at any point. You've got Ruben Garrick, Brad Parker, these kind of guys that have done well in the past that are in the outside backs. Just a really, really interesting to think about. These bunch of players there, and we've spoken about Davey before. I've been hot and cold on him, but just doing a little bit more research into him. He's that kind of player that is just a little bit of a toiler. He tries his hardest, and he's not missing too many tackles. He's got a game there of 34-0, 25-0, makes the odd tackle break, and a limited amount of meters gained. Like that's more the scary thing for me. If he plays 80 minutes and it's 80 to 90 meters gained with only 25 to 34 tackles. It's not incredible, but my worry is if he doesn't get 80 minutes, is he going to make a lot of money for your squad? Price at 27, yeah, he should make a bit, but how much? You want him to at least be averaging 40 because you're going to have to trade him out at some point. So that's my thoughts with him. He's currently, I'm thinking about having him in my team currently, but not sure at this stage. There's talk of Fawn playing a 9, but I don't see his body lasting that long in the 9 position. Again, just my opinion, but someone that's been injured a lot, he's going to have to do a lot of tackling. So I could see maybe him sharing the minutes with the Cuss. They really do need a number 9, though, a proper number 9, I think, to do really well this season. But yeah, guys, that's my general thoughts on those two teams. Let me know what you think, and if there's anything in these predicted lineups you think would be different. But as I said again, guys, please hit like and subscribe if you're enjoying these. I appreciate all the love, and enjoy, guys. Have fun.